Hello, Squirrel Squad. I'm finally getting around to what I hope will be a couple of quick tutorials. This is a black. You saw, thick and quick. It's quite a big bundle. 223 yards of this, but it is a super bulky number 6. And I am knitting this one. I'm not doing a pattern or anything. I think I'm just going to do some ribbing and then stockinette in the middle. So I'm going to be knitting in the round. It does take a size 13, but I wanted to use these beautiful needles from Wendy Wisa that she sent me of her mother's. And they're actually 15, so that's okay. Since this is so bulky, I think that'll be fine. So what I'm making is just a big old lovely fluffy cowl. And I've got 20 on here, and I just want to do, and I'm just doing this very easy cast on. Sorry for looking at my foot in the floor, but this is how I can see. So that's 21, 22, you can do whatever cast on you want. 23, 24, this is just so easy. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. I'm just going to kind of fill up my circular needles here. What I say, 30, 31, 32, a bit of a tangle there. Did I say 32? 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40, I think. And that would fill it up, but I think I'm going to go to 50. So 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. Let me just make sure I've counted right. Oh, poo. I don't know if I did that right or not. What I'm actually doing is going knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit for my ribbing. Purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, doing 2 for each one, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, and purl, and knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. Yep, I came out with one odd. So I want to start with knit and end on a purl since I am going to connect them all. So now What I really need to do is put this up on a table. Here goes my dryer, of course. But I'm going to try to do it right here. My table is kind of full of stuff. Full of all the stuff I need to be doing. I just don't want to have a twist. I'm not sure about this. It's looking funny right here. So I think, yeah, that goes over like this. Like this. And then this needs to be twisted over. Sorry, I know this is all kind of boring. But you just don't want to have a twist in this. Okay, so I think I've got it right. If I don't, I'll have to start over. To connect it, you see I'm going in where I started. That was my little tail there, so that will denote my end of round until I get a marker on this, which I did not bring over. And this is my working yarn. So what I'm going to do is do knit 2, purl 2, which is why I counted it out like that. And then a lot of times you need to pull on that tail because it'll be a little bit loose. So that was a knit. So when I get back around here, this should be a purl. That's why it's important to count it all out like that. So I just do 2 knits, 2 purls all the way around. This is where I need to have some editing skills. This is very boring to watch 50 stitches worth of this. But I knit 2. If you don't know how to knit or purl, go back to some of my other videos. I think I just, yeah, I know I did the basics and then I did a hat. Basic hat, beanie. So the last 2 was, so just make sure, knit you can tell. They have the, looks like a little scarf around the stitch, and these have a bump right up around the, this is like if your scarf was turned around backwards, this is like the front of the scarf. So these are knit stitches, purl. So 2 knit, 2 purl, 2 knit, and so then I bring my yarn around to the front to do the purl stitches, which is just the opposite of a knit stitch. And when I get back around, my second row is going to be knit the knits and purl the purls. That makes your ribbing. And I want to have, I don't know that I'm going to count rows or anything. I'm a fly by the seat of my pants if y'all hadn't learned that. But I maybe will just measure or maybe just eyeball it and say, well, let me have a ribbing of about like that. What's that, about 3 inches or so? And then I'm going to just be knitting in the round, which is going to make, because you're doing it in the round, it's going to make stockinette stitch, which I love. I think it shows off the stitches so pretty. And it's so easy to do. You just knit, 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 knit. So 2 knits, 2 purls. Here's 2 knits. Should have some lovely music or something playing in the background. But alas, I do not. I just looked at this. I've been looking at it forever, thinking, I have got to do this. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. And I always find an excuse not to do it, and it's just dumb. Miss Tony has been waiting forever. Tony has an anti-burn, and there goes my dryer again. One, take me out. Been washing linens from where I had company over the holidays. Not company, family. My youngins. That Jules like to eat chocolate on my brand new couch that I keep a cover on my couch. Emma loves it. They're not brand new, they're a year old, but I want to keep them looking brand new for as long as I can, because furniture, big purchases like that do not come easy for me. And you know, young'uns are going to be young'uns, so I'm just glad I had a cover on there, because she did get a little bit of chocolate on there. No biggie. And even if it doesn't come out, I'll say that's when Jules dropped. That's when they were up. Christmas of 2019. And stayed to see the New Year's 2020 come in. I think that's such a cool year. 2020. Don't y'all? Shouldn't we be flying around by now and stuff? Like on the Jetsons. I thought that in 2000. I know other people have said that too. So I'm just knitting 2, purling 2. When I go from, I was purling last, so I just take it around to the back to do my knits. Lord, I hope I've been staying in screen. I've been talking and looking at this and not really looking at the camera, which is my phone. And then when you purl, you bring it back around this way. Please, Lord, let this work out. So I've got 2 purls at the end. And I'm just going to show you this one row and maybe the start of the next one. And then I will be back. Hopefully today, if not today, tomorrow, to show you how to get started on the main body part after you get the ribbing done. Because I am still working on my, speaking of 2020, the 2020 challenge. My Rockstar knitted triangular shawl. It's the pattern I always do. I'm so boring. I have got to branch out. I've got all these patterns printed, saved and printed out, a bunch of them, and so many more I have to put in page protectors. And then what do? I do the same old thing with knitting and with crocheting. Moss stitch with crocheting. Do the same old shawl all the time. But y'all, I just like it when you find something you like. Or that's me. But it does make it boring for you guys. Like I've said before, I just so much enjoy the Zen relaxation it brings me. So much so, though, that I always fall asleep. And I squirreled, of course, last time I was talking about the fact that I'm still falling asleep while I was trying to get some knitting and or crocheting done. I was meant to say, I thought after being on my hypothyroidism medication a month, I've been on it a little more than a month, I thought I would see a vast difference, but y'all, no. I thought I'd just have so much energy. Here goes my dryer again. And I thought the pounds would just fall right off. That's so funny. If I can get my tail up out of the chair more. But I tried to do that, and I tripped all over my box in here. And I'm a wounded... I started to say wounded warrior. Wounded knit and crochet warrior. Hardly a warrior. Wounded crafter. Crafter down. Oh, y'all, gosh, that hurts so bad. And it still don't feel great. But thank the Lord that I do not believe I have hurt anything, except I think I'm just bruised up. Okay, what did I do last? That's purl, knit, purl. Hooray, hurrah! Won't take much to make Granny happy. Okay, and the last 2 stitches of the round are purl because I started with the knit. So if you don't want to use the same exact yarn, you can play around with your numbers or whatever. But if you're going to do yours like me and do the ribbing 2 by 2, you can certainly do a 1 by 1, knit 1, purl 1. I just have always used pretty much that, and this is where I could put a stitch marker, because here is where my round starts, but I'm just going to use that as my stitch marker for now. So I just keep going. Knit 2. Make sure I catch all the strands. Knit 2, and then bring my yarn forward and do the purl 2. You can remember what you're doing, because remember how the stitches look when you see that bump. That's a purl bump. So if you have to lay it down or something, you need to be able to learn to read your knit and purl stitches. And these are knit stitches. Look at them closely. They don't have that purl bump around them like these 2 do. This looks like it's got a little scarf around its neck. Pretend these are necks. There's a scarf around it. Scarf is turned around backwards on these. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. So this is part 1 of the big fat cow. I'm just going to call it COWL. And I'm just so happy to be using Wendy Weesa's mama's needles. And that was so sweet of her to send them to me. Thank you, darling. So I'm going to do about 3 inches or so. So however many rounds that is for you. Then I'll be back, like I said, either today or no later than tomorrow, to show you how to do the main body, which is nothing but just stockinette, which means when you get back around here, you just knit. Knit, knit, knit all the rounds. Keep going. Do it as long as you want it. Okay. Then I'll end up with doing about the same amount of ribbing. So I have ribbing at the top, ribbing at the bottom. Okay, guys. Love you. Be sweet. Don't be ugly. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.